Hi! First of all, I want to say that it might seem like I'm coming up with some new productivity method every week, but that's not the case. I have a long history of studying, changing careers, and learning new things. And without knowing I had ADHD, I just kept trying different productivity methods, constantly searching for something that worked, and tweaking things until I found what helped me. Since starting this channel, I've been sharing the ones that actually work for me so that maybe they could help you too. So everything I share genuinely works for me, okay? I would never share something that doesn't. I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but honestly, I truly want to help others who are struggling with what I've dealt with my whole life, like the challenges of ADHD and trying to be productive. So yeah, this video is another one of those ADHD productivity methods. So today, what I want to talk about is to-do lists. To-do lists stress me out. I know they're supposed to help. Like everyone says, if you have ADHD, you need to write things down, make a list, stay organized. But most of the time, when I look at a to-do list, I just feel overwhelmed. My brain sees all these tasks that are staring back at me, and I don't know where to start. Or I look at a task and realize that I don't even know how to begin. So I end up avoiding it entirely. And then the list just sits there making me feel guilty. But sometimes I can't avoid using a to-do list. When there's too much going on and everything is floating around in my head, I can't focus on anything. My brain is trying to remember 10 things at once, and I end up doing nothing. In those moments, I need to get it all out of my head, and writing things down help clear the mental clutter. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is how I make to-do lists work for me. Like the small changes I make that turn them from stressful into something actually usable. I don't use to-do lists every day, but when I need one, this is how I do it. There are 3 steps, and I'll walk you through them one by one. So let's get into it. Okay, first issue. A typical to-do list looks like this, right? Like call a dentist, work on project, whatever. And somehow these tasks just sit there for days, sometimes weeks. It's not because they're hard. Most of them are actually pretty simple. The problem is they are too vague. When I see call the dentist, my brain still has to figure out a bunch of things like where's the phone number? When are they open? What do I even need to say? Like every little detail that you have to mentally track adds friction. You don't even realize it, but that friction is enough to make starting feel impossible. Like when I see organized desk, I feel overwhelmed because I don't know where to begin. It's too big, too abstract. So the list ends up stressing me out instead of helping. Okay, here is what helps me. It's simple but really useful. So I divide the page into 2 sides with an imaginary line. You can draw an actual line too. I won't. And a bigger notebook works better than this tiny one. So the left side is my to-do list, just a task. And the right side is my support system. So for example, I write call the dentist on the left. And on the right, I add the information I need for this task, like phone number, I don't know, some number. And now, at least for me, this task actually feels doable. I have everything I need right here. Another example, like on the left, I write return package, and on the right, I add Now when I look at it, I don't have to think about where to go or what I need. It's all right there. It's such a small thing, but it's so useful for me. A lot of tasks that feel impossible are actually just unclear. And when you add the information that you need, starting becomes way easier. Okay, step 2. You've probably heard the classic ADHD advice, like break every task into tiny steps. Write out all 15 sub-steps, then do them one by one. In theory, this makes sense, right? Let's say the task is organize desk. And you break it down like this. Put papers in a pile, throw away trash, la la la. For me, this doesn't work. My brain sees 15 steps at once and immediately shuts down. The task didn't get easier, it just got longer. So breaking things down in advance doesn't work for me. So instead, I use a one step at a time approach. So I write the main task on the left again, let's say organize desk. And then I think about the absolute smallest first step I can possibly do. Not all the steps, just the very first one. So put all the papers in a pile. After writing this, I go and do it. I put all the papers in a pile and then I come back and I cross it off. I celebrate my little win, then I think of the next tiny step. So throw away trash, let's say. I write it, go do it, come back and cross it off, and then repeat until the task is done. And you never look at the whole task at once. You only ever see the next action in front of you. So crossing off each small step gives your brain a tiny dopamine hit, which is exactly what ADHD brains need to keep moving forward. That little reward keeps you motivated to write the next step and keep going. I'm not overwhelmed by future steps because I haven't written them yet. I'm just focused on right now, and this only works because I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm not planning everything in advance, which helps with task paralysis and not being able to start because you're thinking about every step and trying to be perfect. And when I finished all of my subtasks, I can go ahead and cross off my main task. Also, you don't need to break every task into tiny steps. Some tasks are straightforward enough that you just do them, cross them off, and that's it. Okay, and now the third part. So another thing that makes to-do lists stressful is tasks that take forever and don't have a clear endpoint. Like study for exam, work on project. Such tasks are super abstract and you could spend an hour working on them and they're still not done. You can't cross them off and your brain doesn't get that completion reward, and that feels really demotivating. So instead of writing work on report, I write 1 hour of report. Now it's something I can actually complete. Then on the right side, I make that hour feel even more manageable by breaking it into smaller chunks that I can track. So I will draw 4 little boxes. And each box represents 15 minutes of work. And every time I finish 15 minutes, I cross off 1 box. And when all 4 boxes are crossed off, I get to cross off the whole task. And if I need to keep working, I just add a new line on the left, 1 more hour of report. And then I make 4 new boxes on the right. And this way I can see progress even when the task isn't fully finished yet. Like, visual progress feels really good for ADHD brains. Being able to see those boxes fill up, being able to cross off chunks of time, it makes it feel doable. Sometimes I even make the boxes represent smaller chunks of time, like 10 boxes for an hour. So each one is like 6 minutes. It depends on how much I'm struggling with the task. The harder it feels, the smaller I make the chunks. And because smaller chunks mean more frequent rewards, and more rewards mean it's easier to keep going. So the reason all of this works isn't because the left side becomes less stressful. The left side is still a to-do list, and to-do lists are still overwhelming, but the right side gives me the support I need to actually face those tasks. When a task is vague, the right side makes it clear. When a task is too big, the right side breaks it down 1 step at a time, not all at once, just as I go. And when a task takes forever, the right side lets me track progress. The stress doesn't disappear, but it becomes manageable. And that's what makes the difference between a to-do list that sits there, making me anxious, and a to-do list that I can actually use. I don't use to-do lists every single day. A lot of the time I just go with the flow and do things as they come up. I use interstitial journaling most of the time, as you know. But when there's too much going on and my brain feels overloaded, that's when I need to write things down and make a to-do list that I can cross off. And this is how I make it work without completely stressing myself out. So if to-do lists stress you out too, give this a try and let me know how it goes. And remember that this is how it works for me. You might need to adjust these steps to fit you. Just take the parts that you like and leave the parts that you don't. Anyway, hopefully this video gave you some ideas. Let me know in the comments if you try any of this and if it helps. And as usual, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!